Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Key, Sean and talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. That's right, Key. We back like Reggie Bush Heisman Trophy. We in the hit house today.
Oh, okay.
Right? We got some big announcements. We got some great conversations ready for you. So sit back, relax, get ready to rock. All right? I'm your co-host, Aramis.
This is Key. Now, I was thinking when you said we're back like Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy, I was thinking we're back like Reggie Bush's career rushing yardage in Buffalo.
Oh, career? What is his career rushing yardage in Buffalo?
It's like -4 yards or something.
That's
like
right.
that. Yeah,
that's right.
That's pretty far back.
Was that a regular season game?
Yeah.
Was that under Rex Ryan?
I don't know. I have to look it up. But all I know is I've never seen anybody with that kind of accolade, that kind of name, average negative yards for a career in a city. I mean, even though it was a fast, little quick jaunt in Buffalo, he was only here for what? Actually played in 2 or 3 games, but at the same time, negative yardage just can't happen. Just can't happen. I think he owes that Heisman Trophy to the Bills.
Yeah,
just give him the trophy.
I kind of hate saying this about people that come here, but it takes a special breed to come to Buffalo and be successful like Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Mm-hmm. Like, people don't just come here and rock out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Mario Williams came here. He was all right. He wasn't the same Mario Williams we saw in Houston, right? Who else? T.O. came here.
Well, yeah,
he's okay.
That was a last hurrah.
Right. And that's, I think that's kind of the annoying thing about it is, like, when we do get these name players to come here, it is their last hurrah, unless they're a no-name nobody like Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde were.
You keep your name out your mouth.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
You know, I mean,
the eyes of us getting somebody young and actually giving them a chance is first and foremost for the Bills is like, yeah, okay. The Bills don't like going to get young guys. So, if you're 34 or so, come on over, get a 1-year contract. That's what it is. They want those 1-year contract guys, so they sign the older guys.
Yeah.
No, the young boys ain't going for that. They're like, yo, where's my meal? I want the yams.
Yeah.
Give me the catfish.
Rich is back in the house.
Go McDermott.
McDermott for president.
Yes, indeed.
He says he's ahead of the curve. I don't know if you saw the thumbnail, but I posed the question in the thumbnail, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the question is Sean McDermott behind or ahead of the curve in the NFL? Okay. So I'll explain that a little bit later. Roy says, I hope T.O. gave back his key to the city. Probably not.
It didn't open anything.
Yeah, I know. it opened the broom closet in City Hall. That's
maybe.
about it.
Yeah, maybe. Byron Brown's office.
Dang. Talk politics, why don't you? All right. So before we get started, before we really dive into everything, we got a huge announcement to make, okay? It's been a long time coming. No, you know what? I'm going to wait. How you
halfway do the thing and then say, you know what? Never mind. Go ahead.
It's called suspense, Key.
I guess.
You got to draw them in.
Just because I midstream, huh?
I'm just trying to wait until more people get, like, Tabonia's legs be coming here on his breaks and stuff like that. I got to give him a chance. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
All right. So let's start with this. Let me see what you think about it, because we talked about this a little bit last week Friday, right? Should we be having Xavier Worthy regret right now?
because of the little videos that they send out? No. I mean, how can I say this? Xavier Worthy was the one I wanted. We didn't get him. We traded away the pick. They took him.
Well,
you said Leggett. Well, no, both of them. You said Leggett or Worthy.
Worthy.
Yeah, we traded away that pick to get him. So we had another Mahomes situation on our hands. So Mahomes to Worthy is kind of fitting.
Mm-hmm. I just made everybody mad with that half of it now. Half an
Told you. You cut him off midstream.
Midstream, oh, gross.
Yeah.
That is so hard to stop. Like, can we just park on that for a minute?
Where
Like,
there's a will, there's a way. You got to practice.
How easy is it for you? How many times have you had to do it?
I do it for no reason sometimes.
Yo.
Just to make sure I can do it.
Nah.
Yep.
Nah, that can't be real.
Yep.
Here, let me see if I can do this.
That's
just
it.
Just tighten up.
You like, just tighten.
Just clip it.
That's it. Clip it.
So, like, do you do that multiple times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You a different breed, dude. you a whole different breed.
Yeah, you got to make sure you still got it.
Yo, the man just standing there. Let me see how many times I could do this. Like, it is literally like throwing a wrench in Big Ben and watching the whole thing explode for me. Like, I can't.
System overload.
Yo, if I have to stop midstream, like, my entire body lights on fire.
Yeah,
Like, it's unbelievable. I would never think to try it. I would never think, like, if I'm out in the wild,
yeah,
and I'm facing a tree and I'm just letting it all go,
mm-hmm.
right? And a bear comes up behind me.
Oh, clinched up.
You would clinch up. I'm peeing and running at the same time. Like,
that's hard.
Huh?
That's hard.
That's not hard at all.
That's tough. That's tough.
Listen, when I grew up on the west side,
yeah.
ran around outside barefoot.
Yeah.
I was used to running out. Like, my mom used to get so mad because I would run out of the house all the time naked. Soon as they took my clothes off to get ready to put me in the bath, I'll run out the house and start running around. I don't know why. I just like to be free.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I came here again, got my feet out. You know what I'm saying? So when we leave, you got a little show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll do a little step. You know what I'm saying?
Two-step.
A little twirl so you can see the heels.
The ash lines.
The ash lines.
The ash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, no shame in my game at all.
I mean,
lotion
right.
is for y'all. It's not for me.
Lotion's for me, man. You know, I feel better about life when I get that lotion.
If I'm going somewhere special, okay, but ain't nobody.
I'm not. I hate the echelon where I'm supposed to look lotion though.
Don't put words in my mouth like that. That's not what this is about. Anyway, so
I love these conversations.
So all right, I am having Xavier Worthy regret.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about him before, I wanted him. I wanted Josh to have the opportunity to have that Tyreek Hill-ish experience. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And for Mahomes to get it again.
Yep.
It's like, come on. Like, how many gifts is this guy going to get?
It does suck.
You know? So, I mean, folks watching, put it in the chat. Are you having Xavier Worthy regret? Have you seen those videos? What do you think about, what's going on over in Chiefs camp so far? I mean, obviously the Bills are going to be putting out a lot of stuff about Keon Coleman, but that brings me to this question. Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Who do you want right now as your X receiver?
Out of the guys we have on the team. You ain't gonna like this. Well, Buffalo Land ain't gonna like it, but I'd probably say
you might not like it.
As my ex, I would say I want Claypool.
Oh, okay. No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna go with the footman.
No. No. I mean, you know what? Matt Collins, that is my guy. I appreciate everything he brings to the table, but no, I don't. Nah.
You don't think he has a realistic shot
at making a team or being a starter?
No, being the X. I mean, Bills love this dude for some reason.
A backup, yeah.
A backup X.
Yeah.
Okay. So you who do you think? So you're thinking it's what? Shakir, Claypool, MVS.
Yeah. I mean, where are you going to put Samuel though? Because Samuel would probably be my starting wide receiver.
I mean, I would honestly, I would just pencil him in as a 2. I like, to me, that's where I thought he was going to be coming in. I thought that was the perfect spot for him, is to come in and be the 2. Even if he does do the gadget stuff, that's fine.
Right.
But him being a threat on the field all the time is what the Bills need.
Number 2. Yeah, that's where I put him at number 2.
Yeah.
I got 2 and 3 locked in. Well, Shakir, he's 3 and nature could use a slot, but I got 2 and 1 is just that big question mark.
Right.
But the other 2, I got them pretty much locked in. I just want to know who emerges as that X, like you said. Coleman seems like he might be bringing up not the rear, but he doesn't seem like the odds-on favorite right now to be that X position. So, I mean, that's fine. I'm okay with that as long as he progresses. I wish he had more talent ahead of him to try to catch up to, but right now it looks like they want MVS out there for some reason. They want somebody that's got some kind of pedigree, somebody that's got some years, like we said before. They like these guys that have done something before.
Well, so one of the things that people were saying about MVS is that he's kind of lost a step, and I hadn't heard that until very recently. Uh-huh. That would trouble me if they really gave him a realistic shot at the X receiver spot, because let's say, for instance, he is the most polished route runner of all the guys, even though he's not a great inside route runner. He's a deep guy. You know what I'm saying? So, comebacks, okay, but your deep posts, your flag routes, your flat nines, like that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. So if he wins the spot, let's just say he wins the number 1 receiver job, and you have MVS and you got Curtis Samuel and you got Shakir as your slot, right?
Right.
What's your confidence level in that on a scale of 1 to 10?
I mean, honestly, I don't have – right now I don't have a lot of confidence until I see what they look like on the field regardless. That's the hurt piece for me. And it's not, a slight on any one person, but I just don't feel like going into the season with your top receiver being an $8 million man and the rest of them are 1-year contracts with the second year a second round rookie wide receiver going into. That's just not the recipe for success. And everybody talks about we got Josh Allen, and I'm so tired of hearing that because it's not fair to him. Right. We got Josh Allen, so we always have a chance. Why is it always Josh Allen? Who else is there? And I mean, we're a couple of days removed from getting on the field for training camp, and they're already talking about if Josh Allen gets hurt, we're screwed.
Yeah, they go in tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy to me, and that's unsettling how you do business.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think MVS winning the X receiver spot would be worst case scenario. To be honest, I mean, and this may sound harsh, but realistically, for me, my opinion, I think it's the worst case scenario if he's on the field at all as a starter in any position. Yep. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you brought him in to be your coach in the classroom sort of deal, that veteran receiver that's kind of been there, been to a Super Bowl, knows what it's like to play in big games and all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's valuable. I don't know if it's $2.12 million valuable, right, but it is what it is right now. He's on the team. That's the best role that I could see for him here. But I'm with you. I like Claypool as the X receiver, and yes, Roy, do we have a true X receiver? I think we do. I think Claypool is the closest thing we have to an X receiver. He's a guy who showed that he can do it in Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger, so he's played with a good quarterback before, and he's had a lot of production in his first 2 years. And I don't mean a lot, in terms of like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase level, but the way people were talking about him and the way that he was producing in Pittsburgh his first 2 years, he was an up-and-coming guy that looked like he might be on that level with those dudes. You know what I mean? I think if he had another jump to another level in his third year, he would have solidified himself as a true X receiver in the NFL. I
mean, his first 2 seasons, the numbers that he put up, I would take those right now as a heartbeat. They were over 800 yards, good catch rate, good catch percentage, decent touchdown output. It's just a matter of he was a head case at the time. He was smelling himself a little much. But we knew that coming out of college. And that's one of the reasons why I think you wanted him when he came out. And I was like, nah, I don't want him. I didn't want I knew he was talented, but his ego didn't match up with his play on the field. He's good, but he's not elite. And his play on the field was adequate to be a number 1 for any team in the NFL. But at the same time, I didn't see a path for him to be, Justin Jefferson or Adams or anybody like that. CD Lamb, even though somebody said he was too slow a while ago. Some of these guys, they just have traits that become number one wide receivers. These are guys that you put on the front of Madden and let it go.
Yeah.
Claypool, he was borderline a tight end to me.
Mm.
You know, just a fast, huge guy. You know, the size-speed ratio was out of this world for him.
Okay. A couple of comments here. Bill's Fever, welcome to the show.
Yes, indeed.
He said they've been relying on they've been relying on Josh for 3 years now and using all the money on a defense who doesn't perform in the big game. Yeah, when we talked about this, this would have been like 3 episodes ago. Actually, it might have been more than that, like 5. But we mentioned, well, we asked the question, or we just kind of posed the thought: why doesn't Sean McDermott take the approach that he's been taking on offense on defense?
Right.
You know, get a lot of nobodies, a lot of 1-year contracts, a lot of let's see if they can do it guys to, you know, put into his defensive scheme, which seems to make names out of nobodies, you know, to begin with. He did it in Carolina. He did it. He's done it here. Right. So why hasn't he taken that approach to the defense? Why does he need to invest so heavily in, you know, in either specific positions, you know, to try and raise their status, or to invest in specific people that he thinks is going to, you know, take the team over the top? And I mean the Von Miller thing there. But for what we watched with Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo last year, Andy Reid did that exact thing. He took a bunch of young players, a bunch of guys who really had no business getting the volume or the opportunity. Well, I don't want to say opportunity, but getting the volume or the level of responsibility in that offense that they did last year. You know, MVS should have been a you know, back of the mind guy. If he got, you know, 40, 50 catches that season, that should have been a highlight for him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Rashee Rice, he's nice, but he shouldn't have been in that position where he was relied so heavily on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm happy for him because he got the opportunity, and now he's proven himself, and now he's going to be an ongoing weapon for that offense. Yep. But we saw Andy Reid do exactly what we want to see Sean McDermott do, which is invest your money and your resources in the side of the ball that you are weakest on. As a head coach,
and that makes perfect sense. I mean, right. Who was it? Bills. What was it? Bills. What was it? The person that.
Oh, Bill's Fever asked the question.
Bills. Yeah. So, to your point, to add on to that, you know, you look at a team that you invested heavily in the first round. You invested in free agency. I'm thinking about Kaiir Elam. You traded up to get this guy on your side of the ball. This was your investment. You liked him because he had a notebook. Right. Why are you not playing him? Why you keep bringing guys in to play on top of him? You know, I mean, Tre'Davious White, he really wasn't. He wasn't Tre'Davious White the last time he played in Buffalo. You know, Russell Douglas would never have to happen. You could have Christian Benford and Kaiir Elam out there right now if you wanted to. If you would have had him playing, like you said, Rashee Rice. A lot of teams let their players go through bumps and bruises in their rookie year, second year. This is his 3rd year now, and he's still not going to play. Probably not going to play a lot, at least. Because you got Rasul Douglas and Christian Benford out there. He's got to wait for somebody to get hurt. They're not going to give him a chance to outplay either one of those guys. Right. So let's not do that now, because when he becomes the number 3 cornerback again, or now, you know.
I mean, I think he was the number 3 corner.
He may have been, but they had Dane Jackson. So
right, yeah.
You know, so I was thinking in my head, I'm like, maybe not. I even think sometimes they might put Cam Lewis ahead of him because they play Cam Lewis out there.
I mean, Jamarcus Ingram's got to get in there somewhere. They've been keeping him on the team forever.
He's like, hey, me.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that.
It's the thing, like, when you invest in a first-round draft pick, you need to play him to the point where he can't be played. You don't need to see him in practice and say, oh, yeah, I can't play him because he didn't do this. Let him get mopped up by Garrett Wilson. Let him get mopped up by Alan Lazard. Let him get mopped up by Tyreek and Jalen. Let him get mopped up by people on opposing teams to tell you that he can't play before you go ahead and find somebody else. Yep. Because when Trey White went down, first thing he should have did, Kaiir, you're up. Now we had to figure something out. Dane Jackson, you're in. Oh, let's trade for somebody that's got a $9 million cap hit.
Yep.
You know, so that's how much faith that he puts in it. When they say we like to draft our guys, invest in our guys, and retain our guys. No, you don't. No, you don't. You like to draft your guys, hold them on the bench, and let them lose value to the point where you can pay them. That's what they do.
Yeah.
AJ Epinesa, he got what do you get? $7 million a season.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
$7
about
million a
13,
season.
14 million.
He got 6.5 sacks last year. What if he did that year before that?
Exactly.
What would his number have been? We thought he was going to get, luckily for Terrell, not Terrell, for Tremaine Edmonds, he got Chicago Bears. They are in a rebuild. They're like, yo, we got a lot of money. Come ahead. He wasn't getting $17 million anywhere else.
That's true.
People in Buffalo loved him, but he wasn't getting $17 million anywhere else. So the thing is, when you say, why didn't you re-sign this guy? And I was listening to One Bills Live on the way in, and I forgot about it. But think about the Saints. Mm-hmm. What was it? Back when Drew Brees, when he retired, they were like $190 million over the salary cap.
Yep.
They're still paying for it to this day.
Yes, they are.
And they can't afford anything. And this is the way the Bills going. This is how the Bills are going because the Bills they don't want to play their own players. They want to go ahead and buy more people on top of the draft. You might as well just get rid of draft picks and just go ahead and trade those for players. Trade those for assets, the young assets. I don't want to see any more 29, 30-year-old guys. Trade them for 24-year-olds. A first-round pick, get you a 24-year-old somewhere out there to play it, if that's what you want to do. If you don't trust people coming out of college, don't play them and don't get them.
You know what it is? It's truly a situation of did you blink, right? Because they came in. Sean McDermott and his team came in. Rick Dennison, Leslie Frazier. They came in with the thought process of we are going to be sustainable, right? They wanted to just be a perennial playoff team that occasionally had a shot at a Super Bowl, and let's see how far we get with that, right? And I'm sure that sounded great to Terry Pegula because in his mind, I don't even really care about the Bills all like that. Right. I really want my Sabres to be doing something right now. So if you're telling me that that the Bills are going to be consistently making the playoffs, that sounds like money to me. I'm cool with that, right? And for as much as Pegula has talked about, well, I don't need the money. I could just go dig another hole or whatever. Like,
you can do that,
bruh. Do it then,
right?
You know what I mean? Right. Instead of hitting us up in our tax money for all this stadium money, go drill another hole. You know what I'm saying? But instead, he did what he did. So that kind of flies in the face of anything he said to this point. So back to my initial point, which was when Sean and his team came in here, they came in here with the mindset of longevity, sustainability in terms of being a consistent, 10-plus game winner, every season, right? But I don't think they expected to be as good as fast as they were. Right. And on top of that, I don't even think they expected Josh Allen to be as good as he was.
That's it. That's
in year two.
You just said it right there.
You know what I'm saying? Or year three, rather, right?
Yep.
So once all that stuff happened and the media latched on and the fan base just roared enormously, we've got a freaking shot. Go for it.
I just had a thought.
What
happened? Okay, stay with me on this.
Okay.
Because the fans are not gonna like where I'm gonna go with this first. But
what if
you're gonna love this? When Josh Allen became good, what happened? What did we do? We went and got
Steph Diggs,
right?
Yeah. Josh
Allen had a meteoric rise, right?
Yep.
Earned all this money. Do you think the Bills hated Steph Diggs from games? Like, yo, you can't make him like this. No. Now we got to pay this man.
Yeah.
You
know what? And it's funny because if they would have just gotten the Steph Diggs that existed in Minnesota, that would have been like your low tier wide receiver one. That wouldn't have been the guy that you paid $100 million, 97.
Right.
But they got much more than that.
Yeah.
Him and Josh hit it off. Josh was excited to have a guy like that could win every which way you need a receiver to win. Yeah. And I think you're right.
Probably kicking himself for that right
now. I think you're absolutely right. I think Sean is kicking himself for approving that move and saying, all right, we'll give up because that completely knocked them off the tracks in terms of their, in terms of their sustainability argument or their mindset.
They weren't prepared to pay a top-notch quarterback. They really weren't prepared to get into the run with $50 million for one player.
Right.
And they didn't think. I mean, I'm not going to say they didn't think Josh was good. They obviously thought he had talent, but I don't think that they thought he was going to be on that level that fast. We're talking about Madden coverage. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. He's on these commercials, and he doesn't really have the personality for it.
Yeah,
he's just really good.
Yep.
and they weren't prepared. You can tell that by how they built the team salary cap wise previous to having to give him the contract and all the contracts they carried over past and all the restructures they had to do. They want to blame COVID for it. Yeah, you lost $20 million. But guess what? Every team wasn't in cap hell. True. Every team wasn't. You were with some bad contracts.
Yep.
And not having to pay Josh his elite deal allows you to cover those contracts. And now it's been exposed when you got to pay this one guy and we can't afford it.
I see. This is where I think it really connects and gets very juicy, because if you look at the way they started spending money after they had to pay Josh Allen, right? Once they reached that point, it was like, yo, we need to win a Super Bowl now, because we don't have a plan in place for paying all these players the way that we got to pay all these players. Yep. They're becoming household names. They've got deals. They got, the brands and all that kind of stuff. So they're automatically worth more because we're winning more, right? So once they got to that point, it's like, okay, well, how much of the money do we allocate to that? Okay, well, if we're going to spend the money, then we got to spend it on the guy that we know is good. Right? And it just so happened that Von Miller is coming off a 9-sack season after being traded in the middle of the season and winning a Super Bowl. And, you know what? We liked him before.
Right.
Why not try to go? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where you look at what we're talking about in terms of their timeline being thrown off. And then on top of that, you look at how they started spending the money, right? They started kicking the can down the way. Like when you watch them do this roster surgery and getting rid of Marcel Darius and getting rid of all these other players that they got, Cordy Glenn and all these other
Watkins, Ron Darby, Nigel Bradhams, yeah.
Sounds like you hated that.
Just a little bit,
right? But when we watch them get rid of all these guys, and we say, well, we don't say, but I think the thought process and the way that we make peace with it is, okay, they didn't cut half my damn team, but now we can build up from here. Now we can start clean, fresh. We can do like the sky's the limit sort of deal. You know what I mean? It's the optimist's outlook on the situation, right? So they do all that, and then their timeline gets thrown off, and then they start spending money all willy-nilly, and now here we are back in cap hell again, looking at this $10 million like, ooh, back when we had 50, 60 million before.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And in certain areas of the team, it's a good problem to have, because obviously you want a Josh Allen making the money he's making, because that means he's a damn good quarterback.
Absolutely.
But when you're pigeonholed into a situation that you didn't plan on being in, I think that's where you end up with the Von Miller contracts and kicking Stephon Diggs' contract down the road and trying to re-sign Deion Dawkins because you don't have an alternative at the position. You haven't had a pipeline because you've been trying to invest so much money in trying to just go for it after you didn't plan on going for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a mess. It's a mess that we're now having to pay for. But let me ask you this, because that does bring about this next question I wanted to ask you. Where are the Buffalo Bills? And after this, we got a ton of comments I want to get to too.
I like comments. Comments keep you fresh.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's do that now before I move on, because they're still talking about the stuff we're talking about. Okay, so Steve says, what's my confidence level? Debating who is the top scrub on this team, who would be the third or fourth option on the elite team, and we have McDermott to get the best out of him. Confidence real high.
Where's Steve Noble been?
I know, right? We haven't seen Steve Noble in forever.
He brought in the confidence and he just left.
Steve Lynn ran him out of town.
I'm the only Steve. Get out of here.
Oh, man. Roy says, you know what? I want to get to that in 1 second. Let me see. Bills Fever says, for 2 straight years, we went into the playoffs with guys off the couch or practice squad level players at the wide receiver position. He then says, all of our draft capital and money went on the defense until last year. McDermott should be able to take average guys and do the job instead of having Josh do that on offense. Exactly. That's exactly what we've been saying. Bully, what's going on, man? He says, I believe it's harder to win in Buffalo than most teams. What do you think about that? Because I've thought that for a while too, but that's it's okay. So for me, it's a little bit different, right? For me, I learned about how difficult it is to be successful in Buffalo through music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when I was like really in the thick of it, working with a lot of artists and stuff like that, I used to hear a lot of guys who you know made it and left and came back, you know, say you got to leave. Mm-hmm. You can't, you know what I mean? I mean even Benny the Butcher and those boys, like they had to leave. Mm-hmm. They were here for a while. Right. You know what I'm saying? But when they left, then they got big, then they came back and now they big. You know what I mean? But like from my experience, that's how the city is. You know, it's very tough to kind of rise above the foam here.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that to an extent, except for when it comes to like a sporting team where all things are considered equal. I mean, if we're talking about UB, yeah, you know, it's hard to be a good program at UB because of all the competition, the recruiting and scouting. But in the NFL, you got a salary cap. You have coaches. You have, I mean, the playing field is somewhat level. You know, I mean, of course, you don't have your Miami, you don't have your New York, you don't have your LA. People want to go there. Some people. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, people are going to go where the money is. And it's up to the Bills organization to say, okay, we got to pay extra to get, you know, this type of player. Mm-hmm. Where do we want to allocate this money? We can't be spending this on Von Millers and people like that. We got to go ahead and spend it on, you know, an up and comer. We got to offer them more, but at the same time, we got to be more astute in who we're trying to get.
Right. So let me. This I don't know if this is going to be a question or a point. Just let me like flesh it out.
Go ahead. I'm let you land.
So oh shoot, don't lose it.
He's losing it.
I am losing it.
He lost it.
Dog it. I was trying to get it out. I was trying to shut your mouth.
I win. No. I mean, I get it because go ahead. You got it back?
No, I'll get it back.
I get it because you know, when you're what do you call it, a sole proprietor, a singer, somebody like that, where you have to make your own way, your own pub, your own this, your own that.
Oh,
yes. Okay, go ahead.
So do you think? Dog it! I just lost it again.
So you get the own pub. You know? when you gotta get your name out there, it's different than, you know, like for instance, if you're working for, all right, we work for an airline.
Okay.
Some are better than others. Spirit.
That's cold. That's cold. That was all in the mic too.
But I know. But the thing is, like, once you get on one, you're pretty much on.
Okay.
You know, I can tell you from what I've experienced this weekend playing that game.
Rough.
Bam. We won't get that in a second. But I can tell you, you know, the recruiting levels and getting somebody to a UB versus a USC is a complete different thing from being drafted to the Bills versus going to the Chargers or going to the Dolphins or whoever, the Chiefs. Because there are talent that want to come to Buffalo because of Josh Allen. There are talent that want to come to Buffalo because of Sean McDermott, Bobby Babbage, Joe Brady. There are guys that come because of these reasons, because of the facilities that we have. That are top notch that they actually redid. We're getting a new stadium. Guys want to play in a new stadium.
Yeah.
They hear about the fans. Yes, Mafia, you guys playing to some people that want to play in a raucous crowd. But
so let me ask you this: Is that, because I just got it all back?
Go ahead.
Is it the city's fault though? Is it the fans' fault though? From this perspective, mm-hmm. right? Because we already know the Buffalo Bills propagate and market themselves to the team as this, you know, this lovable, all, you know, mm-hmm. all shucks type of team, right? Because in their marketing team's experience, that's what people pay money for here, right? You know what I mean? They can connect with that emotionally because for some reason that's just what people are feeling here. But is it really their fault? You know what I'm saying? Like, so think about it like this. If actually, I'll just make the point. How would you feel if Sean McDermott got fired today and we hired Mike McDaniel from Miami?
How would I feel?
How would you be happy about that?
I mean, I'd be curious. I would be intrigued.
Okay.
I'd be very intrigued. No, I'm not trying to have a caveat. I'd be very intrigued. I don't know how happy I'd be because I do like Mike McDaniel. I do like him, but I don't know. I want to know what he could do with Josh. That'd be my first thing. What can you do with Josh? Because I know he's young. You know, he's smart. I didn't know he actually played. I didn't know he played collegiate football.
Who did?
Might be Daniel.
Oh, yeah, he don't look like
didn't, right. I was shocked. I think it was like Yale or something like that. So,
okay.
but at any rate, no, I think if we fired Sean McDermott and got Mike McDaniel, I think the Buffalo fans would be like, what's this going to look like? I really do. What would you do if that, before you got done breakdancing on the table, what would you do after that? I know you would breakdance first. It would be a level of breakdancing.
You're saying if that's what happened?
If McDermott got fired and we got McDaniels.
So, I would be ecstatic, first off. And the point I'm trying to make, I think most people in Buffalo would be happy about that.
I hope so.
Right?
I hope so,
because
yeah.
and solely from a football standpoint, right? Because we don't have much else. So when we watch football, we're learning. Every season, every game, like we're constantly. So we know enough about what a good team looks like. We know, like we've seen the 90s teams go to, so we know what good football looks like, right? So if we know that we're getting that guy that did what he did in Miami, and now we're giving him Josh Allen to build an offense around here, I think most fans here would be excited. Now, here's the kicker with that, right? That flies in the very face of everything that the Buffalo Bills have marketed this team as, because now you've got a guy who built a hot rod in Miami, right? And him coming here doesn't fit the blue collar, hard nosed, hard work. Like he's a geek. Yeah. He's a smart dude. He's a genius, right? You know, he tinkers and he orchestrates.
I'm curious as to how much that really is Bills fans driven. That's marketing.
I don't think it is. That's my point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm really trying to get to is when I ask the question, like, is it the fan? I don't think it's the fans. I think it's the team. I think it's the team themselves that have themselves fooled or pigeonholed in this position of, we have to match the energy of the city. Right. When it's no longer the energy of the city anymore. Like all this renovation and stuff is going to like the city is like it's turning over.
Yeah, we're going to a new century.
Right. Yeah. So Mike McDaniel or someone of the like would be someone that fits the people that live here now. You know what I'm saying? All these condos and stuff like that, like that's what's going up now. Right. You know what I mean? There's a youth movement here, right? So the expectation is different. All of this blue collar stuff, high motor, like that's over with.
That worked with Bethlehem Steel.
Yeah, right. An American Axle and
GM, and that worked back then. Ford stamping plant. Yeah, no.
It's funny. I drove by the Ford plant. Yeah, and they were setting up for a picnic, and I don't know what made me do this, but I just drove by and I just looked and I just shook my head. I felt bad for these people. Like, what do you have to celebrate? Your industry is dying. Right. Y'all about to be out of business in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Well, not the company, but the people. I mean, robots are building everything. But anyway, that and I'm sorry for those of you who work in factories.
Honestly, no. You're onto something, because the scope of the factory job as it was has changed. A lot of stuff is automated, and you know, my grandfather worked at Ford for 30 years. And what he did back then, where you get one piece of a motor and you stamp it and send it, they don't do that no more. It's all push button automated. You know, it's math involved. There's more involved than what it used to be. So it's not a slap in the face. But see, that's the thing. That goes right into your point with regards to the blue collar city. Even the jobs that are considered blue collar are not as blue collar as they used to be. You know, guys get their hands dirty, mechanics, but they all have diagnostic equipment now. They all have things as technology. This team is running with a carburetor. This team is running with a clutch. Yep. And this ain't no Ferrari. But the thing is, they don't, like you said, a lot of the season ticket holders are older people that have been around. And the reason why I asked and I say I hope people would be happy with that changeover is because a lot of people are still holding to, like Buffalo fans do, they hold to that playoff drought, bless you. They hold to the snapping of it. They still remember where they were, what they felt, and what they were doing when Boyd and Dalton connected it in Cincinnati. Right. A winning team don't care about that no more. That's the thing about it. Like, it happened. It's in the past. What have you done for me lately? You've gotten to the divisional round. This guy might have peaked. Now, yeah, you can love him all you want to love him. You can think about him and revere him all you want to revere him. But the thing is, if it ain't getting better, it's just staying status quo. We haven't been to. If you were going to the Super Bowl and being status quo, You're like, yo, what is that one thing? That's when you sign Von Miller to get over the top because we couldn't get to the quarterback. But you don't do that for the divisional round. You don't do that for a wild card. You don't do that for an AFC champion. You do that for the pinnacle.
The last year that Andy Reid was in an NFC championship game, I don't remember the year, but it was, well, I don't want to say the last. So the third year, because he went 4 years in a row with the Eagles to the NFC championship game. The following year, they go out and they get Terrell Owens.
Mm-hmm.
He destroys the league during that season, busts up his leg, comes back for the Super Bowl.
Hell of a game.
And has a hell of a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you make a move like that.
Yes.
You've been to the NFC championship game 3 years in a row. It's like, all right, we know we're good enough to get here.
Right.
We just need one big time move to put this thing over the top, and it happened.
Right.
It worked, right? But the Bills had an opportunity to do that, and you notice the difference. Instead of going in and getting a defensive player at that time, they went and they got a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Now, before that, Andy Reid didn't need big-time wide receivers. He was destroying the league, making NFC championship games with James Nash and Todd Pinkston.
Okay.
He was doing it with those boys. So I'm gonna get to these comments in a minute. They going in over here. But I don't understand how revisionist history doesn't play into those kind of decisions for Sean McDermott.
Right.
You've seen instances of teams hitting a wall and making a decision on a player that gets them over the hump. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Was that? I don't think Sean McDermott was there when they went to the Super Bowl because I don't think Brian Dawkins was there when they went to the Super Bowl either. And I think when Sean McDermott got fired, that might have been Brian Dawkins last year. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. It was just a curious thought. But all that's to say, if Sean McDermott was there, which is what I was really thinking about, if Sean McDermott was there, that should have been something that occurred to him. But if he wasn't, then it's understandable how something like that could get missed. But still, if I'm a student of the game, and I get into this situation where it's like, all right,
he was a defensive coordinator assistant DB's coach
for the Super Bowl team.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
the TO team you're talking about, right?
So
the TO team.
Yes. Yeah. So he should have known. He was in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
3 years in a row, they didn't make it. Andy Reid makes a move. Now they're in the Super Bowl. You lived through it.
Mm-hmm.
I that blows my mind even more.
You know what the thing about it though? What if you look at the Chiefs AFC Championship game, the 13 seconds game? You look at a couple other games. What was the glaring issue? Coaching calls. It was field management, clock management, things like that. So he went out and got John Perry. Is that his rendition of T.O.? Is that his rendition of making that move you're talking about?
The Von Miller thing?
No, John Perry. Because everybody talks about his decision-making, his lapses. And John Perry's supposed to be able to help you with your decision-making, with your challenges and things like that.
Nah. I think John Perry was just an upgrade over the guys that he already had.
We never had that position before. That position doesn't exist.
Well, yeah, but he had part of this analytics department that they had was part of their responsibility was stuff like that. So we're in a 4th and 2 or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are the best options?
And I'm thinking that because was there something he didn't understand, something that he needed clarity on? So because he's a bad when it comes to challenging. He's horrible when it comes to challenging.
Yeah,
he's horrible when it comes to those kind of deals where something might get murky. Or maybe he should press harder on something that was unclear or untrue. And that's what Perry came in to help him out with, I guess. The 4th and 2 stuff, you should do this, you should do that. Yeah, that's that analytics department. He just needs to lean on him a little more. But on the field, everybody's going to claim, they're going to scream about injuries. They're going to scream about – and what can you do about that? You can build better depth. You can have a practice squad that you can pick somebody off of and not go get A.J. Klein. That's what I hold you accountable for. There's 16 positions on that practice squad. Why can you pull one of those guys? You got seven DBs on that thing. Why? Where are your linebackers? Where's your defensive line? Where's your offensive? Where are these other guys in case somebody gets hurt that you can pull and say, you know what, he's not Milano, but he's better than AJ Klein.
Yeah.
He's not Bernard, but he's better. Where are those guys? Because they've been rocking with you all year long, and most of these guys have been here 2-3 years.
Yeah.
You need. I mean, that practice squad should be in and out. Should be shuttled.
I remember, and this is probably tell me if this is worse or better. I remember a time, and tell me if you remember this too, where the practice squad during the drought used to be, those washed up players. Well, not washed up, but those players that we were kind of taking a flyer on to see if they still had something left. We would put a bunch of those guys on the practice squad, and even if that was something that Sean McDermott was doing now, I think that would still be better.
Yeah.
Light years better than what he's doing now.
Yeah, I mean, because right now, to me, it's like the opposite of Kyer Elam. It's like we've seen you. We've had experience with you. We've been in training camps with you, in preseason with you, and you're just not good enough.
Yeah.
Who's going to hang around? No, go find somebody else. Try them. That's what the practice squad's for. Try them out. It's just a tryout team. If you give them a signing bonus of $1,000, they suck, you kick them off.
Right. That's
how this works. Instead, they go ahead and give all these high-price guaranteed money. It's not high price, but higher than you want for a backup or higher than you want for a last-minute addition, because they can't do nothing. They want to be loyal to this practice squad. They want to be loyal to Josh Allen and Von Miller's when they say Josh. Yeah, we'll get Matt Barkley, even though we know we don't want him on the team. He's here so you can go get Von Miller.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Bully says, but Key, the last game we played before the Von signing was 13 seconds. We looked good but needed another player. He just got hurt.
Okay. But I asked you this question, though. The 13 seconds game, what was did we have to score a touchdown? I can't remember. Did we have to score a touchdown in that? Or
in the 13 seconds game, it came down to us stopping them from scoring a touchdown on that first drive in overtime.
Right. So my question is, if you have Josh Allen, if you have supreme faith in your offense, you know you're going to score. At least you have confidence you're going to score. This is where the clock management comes in. You don't give Mahomes the ball, even with 13 seconds. You make sure there's next to no time on that clock.
Kick the ball.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's where I go with that John Perry thing. I don't really know what his role is, per se, but I can tell you right now, clear as day, I looked at my girlfriend when that happened. I said, there's too much time. They were celebrating, and I think it was Romo or somebody was celebrating, and the Bills are on the side. I'm like, there's too much time. 13 seconds, it's too much time.
After what we watched the back and forth in the fourth quarter there,
Mahomes is that guy.
Yeah.
He's a different animal, so it's like, then you do it again. You do it last year with the missed kick. There's too much time.
Yep.
You can't get Mahomes, but you don't learn. It's not about injuries. It's not about the players it's about the decisions that they made in the game that didn't add up to what they were supposed to be doing. It wasn't consistent with what they've been doing all year.
Right.
And that's what killed us. You can't point. You can say Levi Wallace, you can say Matt Milano, you can say whatever you want to say. But in the end, it was too much time.
Steve says, during 13 seconds, Bills didn't have a pass rusher that could close or an island corner who you would call a man coverage with blitz or a coach who was clutch to prevent a field goal. And see, that's the thing. This mindset that you needed a pass rusher. Like, literally, Jerry Hughes was a half a second away from sacking Patrick Mahomes on that pass to Travis Kelce over Matt Milano. Mm-hmm. The pass rush was good enough to be there slightly before that pass got off. So, and I think at that point that was a three-step drop because it was a fade pass. Mm-hmm. So, like I said before, a three-step drop is what is it? 1 point.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's 1.5 seconds.
Yeah.
right? A three-step drop is 1.5 seconds.
1.5 seconds.
Huh?
You're not getting to the quarterback that fast.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the fact that Jerry Hughes was right there before that pass gets off, the pass rush was fine at that point. Mm-hmm. You didn't need to let Jerry Hughes go, first off, and you didn't need to sign Von Miller at that point. You keep Jerry Hughes. What you needed to do was you needed to get a real one-tech that could make things easier for Ed Oliver at that point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
We screamed about that forever.
Exactly. And there were guys available at that point in time that we could have gone and gotten instead of Von Miller. So it's a wrong decision. I don't think, and especially with today's game, we like to say pass rusher is a prominent position. It's not just pass rusher. You need an elite pass rusher. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to get an elite pass rusher, it should probably be a guy still in his prime. Less risk of injury, less risk monetarily overall, right? You got longevity with that position. You can build around that. That's why most of the time when people go to get a pass rusher, they go to the draft to do it. They don't go shopping in free agency for one, especially if they're on a Super Bowl run, right? You get that young, wild stallion pass rusher, and you add him on to a line that is already veteran and seasoned and all that kind of stuff, and they bring the young buck along to just do his job well enough so that they get the impact they need from a pass rusher. Right. That's how you do it. So the idea that we needed a pass rusher at that time, especially with the NFL how it is today, where you know it's quick, you know, quick drops, quick passing game, a lot of that stuff. Right. It negates a lot of these great pass rushers to begin with. Mm-hmm. So unless you've got a Jets-like defense where you have the secondary and you can stop the run and you've got great linebackers and you can force teams into long down and distance, you really ain't got no business worrying about going out and buying a pass rusher in free agency. Right. You don't. You keep drafting until you hit on one. And you have the balls to get rid of the other ones that ain't working out. Trade them while they still have value. Like, if this was me, like, Greg Rousseau would have been traded last year. That might be a hot take.
That is a hot take.
That might be a hot take. But what are you going to end up paying for him now, and what kind of production is he going to give you on that pay? Because you about to end up paying him $20 million.
And they're going to do it.
Right. So you're going to pay Greg Rousseau $20 million.
And not have a pass rush.
For him to be great against the run.
Yep. And to get his hands up.
It's just like when they paid Chris Kelsey. That's what it is. You're paying Chris Kelsey all over again for a run stuffer. Because there is no more Aaron Schobel. There is no big-time pass rusher. You pay the only guy you got left.
Right. And the thing is it his fault? No. Get your money. But the thing is, you look at every team out there, they have a run-stuffing defensive end, and they have a pass rusher. They want to masquerade A.J. Finesca as a pass rusher. They want to masquerade Von Miller as a pass rusher. They want to masquerade Kingsley Jonathan as a pass rusher. No, there's no pass rusher there. That's why Javon Solomon is here. Work under Von Miller. Get your chops together. Get your moves together. Get everything you need together so when it's time for you to play, you get out there and you play. You know, and that for me is the biggest difference in how the Bills construct their team. They're reactive, but they always insulate on the top, but they don't do anything on the bottom end. That's why you have to see Kingsley plays. That's why you have to see all these rotate. What is the rotation for teams these days on defensive line? How many teams rotate the way we do? I mean, that's it can't
very
be that
few.
many.
Yeah, very few.
You know, I mean, I can see rotating positions like with Chris Jones on the outside versus inside, but no, they don't come off the field that often.
Most teams have solidified starters that stay in the game, get used to the rhythm of the game, get used to the guy they're playing against, so that in the fourth quarter they know what things they can do to get the upper hand over these guys because they've been learning them all game. The only time they come out is when they need a blow,
right? Or
if there's a specific package that gets called by the defensive coordinator. But it's one of those mentalities that really flies in the face of where the NFL is today, which is I want to keep my guys fresh.
Right.
This ain't a hockey line, dude. Like,
right. Right.
You don't need to worry about all of that.
Yeah.
These guys condition themselves to play almost the whole game as it is anyway.
And I can tell you, defensive line, you can play the whole game.
Right.
Yeah. From experience, you can play the whole game at defensive line.
So unless the players tell you that they need that.
When they tap their helmet, that's when it's time to pull them
right,
out. Yeah.
Right. That should be it. But what that also allows you to do is you can now, okay, my starters are out there. I don't got to worry about taking them off the field. They're learning all the things that they need to learn on the field about what a guy is struggling with today. Well, he ain't got the left tackle ain't something going on with his ankle. He's not anchoring right. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now the whole rest of the defensive, like the whole defensive linebackers, everything, that defensive coordinator, they all know that now, right? So fourth quarter comes along, now you can blitz that side, or now you can run a 5-man defensive line and double team that guy to get one of those guys past. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's really about staying ahead of the curve. I picked a great question in the thumbnail, to bring all of this stuff up, but that's where the winners are. Mm-hmm. The winners are ahead of the curve, Sean McVay. The winners are ahead of the curve, Kyle Shanahan. The winners are ahead of the curve, Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. Right? So I mean, it's a tough situation, but let me ask you this. Let's shift gears real quick. Let me see what we have in the comments section. Yeah, Roy says back-to-back prevent defensive calls was BS. Yeah.
Yep. And that has nothing to do with injuries. That has nothing to do with, one tech even. That has nothing to do with any personnel. Yep. Except I'm scared because I don't think we should be here.
Yeah.
This isn't my game to win.
No matter what happens, just don't let Tyreek Hill get a 60-yard pass down, past my whole defense.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's what it is.
Whatever else happens, I didn't get beat by the big pass. Right. Okay. Put that feather in your cap. Fine. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Steve says, just imagine Hughes with Von and OBJ on the offense with Diggs, different world.
We
tried to have that world. Right, exactly. We talked about that too.
That's exactly where we are.
Man, the world that could have been.
But the thing about it is OBJ, he's gambling and showing out money, and his ways outside of the football field would have McDermott's head explode. Diggs would be over there doing this thing at the Met Gala and saying whatever he says. McDermott, the rest of whatever his brain cells would be popping out his ear over here. What'd you say? You said Von Miller and Jerry Hughes. Okay, those two are safe, but they're old. So what does that leave us? Where does that leave your culture? And that's when I allude to, like I did before. Cares about that? They're winning. They're on the field. They're not doing anything that crazy off the field that you can't stand by them. In the locker room and on press conferences, all that stuff. None of them have done anything that crazy. Yeah. Like you got Rashee Rice drag racing. You got this happening over there. You got all these guys that's going to jail for time. Henry Ruggs, people like that. We don't have that.
Right.
We got. I mean, there's a big divide between them and regular people issues. You got that. You got regular stuff.
Yep.
You don't have to have a guy that has a notebook. You ain't got to have a guy that wants a jacket. I'm not talking about Keon, but actually I should too, because he's got the yellow jacket from Macy's. We got a Macy's. Sell him in. Put him in there. And Ed Oliver riding his horse and all this stuff. This is cool stuff, but this is the quiet stuff they like. They like the quiet cat. Josh Allen is the biggest name on the team. Nobody know nothing about him. He's quiet.
Yeah. Let's see. Steve says, with this roster and coaching against good teams, nothing can be masked. This is the year of truth and exposure, and I can't wait. Man, you and me both. Laura need to stop. She said, ain't no players snitching on anyone's deficiencies. Yes, they are. They do it all the time. You ever listen to a mic'd up session, like any of them, like when players go and sit on the bench? They talk about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's how they get into the game. That's how they engage. Yeah, I mean, case in point, before a player goes to a team, they call someone else who's either on that team or played for that team.
What's it like?
Right. What's it like? Mm-hmm. What's the coach like? What's the workout team like? Like, it's not snitch. Like, you might not be a snitch, which is cool.
Right.
But players are snitching. Players is snitching. That's why teams hire a guy that used to play on another team the year after he leaves that team so that they can get some kind of idea of what they were doing before or some of their playbook language or, any of that kind of stuff. Anything to get an advantage. That's the name of the game. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Any player will tell you that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let me ask you this. When you think about where the Buffalo Bills are in the NFL, where would you rank the Buffalo Bills amongst all the teams in the NFL today?
Okay. All right. So this is an unforced caveat, but it's not.
Unforced.
No,
it's all unforced.
Well, the only reason I say that,
it just flows out of you like that.
The only reason I say that is because the Josh Allen factor is like it's ridiculous, And if you take Josh off the team, the number changes dramatically, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because we're talking about if we're doing a power ranking, I say the Bills are probably top 5, but if you take Josh out, they're probably somewhere in the low 20s. I mean, you think about it.
Oh, if you take Josh off,
if Josh gets hurt, they're in the low 20s.
Okay,
because that's it. There's nobody. Mr. Trubisky, fine guy, I'm sure. What's he going to do with Keon Coleman, MVS, and these other guys?
Right.
Dalton Kincaid, yeah, he's going to be the new Steph Diggs fighting for his life on every drive because they're all like, get him. Defensively, you got Christian Benford, you got Rasul Douglas, you got 2 no-name safeties back here. You got, the linebacking core is cool, but one of them, actually both of them had their share of injuries. Mm-hmm. The D-line is old. So you take Josh off the team, you're looking at some rough times.
Okay, so let's try this again.
I answered you the question. I answered the question. Top 5 with Josh.
Top 5 with Josh?
With Josh, yeah.
I didn't hear that. Okay.
So you just wanted to hear the caveat so you could blast me. You just wanted to blast me.
I wasn't going to blast you. I heard the caveat.
Let me ask this again.
Right, because I'm like, wait, did he answer the question? I heard a lot of stuff. I don't know. So top 5. Okay. I would put the Buffalo Bills at currently. I would put them 6th.
Okay.
6th. Right? I would have Chiefs because they just won a Super Bowl.
And because
Niners.
They're good. Yeah.
Right. And because they're good, yes. So Chiefs, Niners, Ravens, Lions, Texans.
I was going to say Texans, yeah, they're probably in there.
And then the Bills.
Yeah.
Right? But this list, I mean, Bills Wire, man, they
Bills Wire? That's what we're looking at?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
I mean.
Oh, snap.
Okay, so this is what they got.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is San Fran.
Okay.
I kind of understand that because their roster is loaded.
Basically the same team as it was last year.
Right. They are loaded, right? Mm-hmm. So you got them. Number 2 is Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Right? Makes sense. Number 3, Ravens.
Okay.
Makes sense. Number 4, New York Jets.
Bills Wire. Bills Wire did this. Okay.
Never mind the Bills Wire.
Bills Wire did this. Okay.
Okay.
I'll get past that part. Go ahead.
All right. So number 4 is Jets. Your head hasn't exploded yet.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Just getting there.
Little spooge.
There's a little spooge coming out.
Number 5. Number 5 is the Detroit Lions. Okay. Makes sense. Number 6, right where I would put the Bills, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Number 7, Cincinnati Bengals. Number 8, Houston Texans. Behind the Jets and the Cowboys. And number 9, Buffalo Bills.
Top 10.
They are top 10. Number 10 was the Philadelphia Eagles. So,
okay, so obviously I didn't have the Jets in there at all.
No, you should have.
I guess so.
Because apparently Bills Wire is ahead of the curve.
Yeah, they're way ahead of the curve. I don't know what curve they smoking, but they on there. Let's see. Okay, so the Jets, no. Cowboys, no.
Cowboys are definite no. Jets, I would still keep top 10.
I wouldn't say them over the Bills. I don't have them over the Bills. I could say top 10 if they wanted to. If they wanted to have that, fine. But not over the Bills for me.
Okay.
Who else was there? I'm trying to think. Baltimore.
Yep, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Lions. Cincy.
Yeah.
Houston.
Houston is debatable, but I think I had them in my top 4. And that pretty much rounded it out. So,
Yeah, yeah. The Bills got some explaining to do. They got some explaining to do. They got some proving. They got some proving to do too, because obviously they're not the darlings anymore. Even on Bills Wire, that's a local website, so there is a bit of homerism. Well, they only cover the Bills, I hope, with the Bills Wire name. So I hope so.
So they might be a little biased, is what you're saying.
So they might actually have them a little lower if they. Wow. No, the Bills. The Bills. No, I got them. I say the top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any other teams outside of the top 10 that
should be in the top 10.
That should be. Yeah. I mean, I think they hit the top 10 teams. Definitely not in that order, though. I think 10 would probably be Cowboys. You could put Jets at 9, and then let me see here. Who would I put behind the Bills at 7? That's tough.
Where's Cleveland?
Cleveland is 12. Miami's 11. Who would you put behind the Bills at 8? Or I'm sorry, 7 rather, right? Because I'm saying 10 would be Dallas, 9 would be the Jets, 7 would be who? I'll read you the top 10 teams again. Top 10 is Niners, Chiefs, Ravens.
Mm-hmm. Those are good.
Lions at 5, Bengals at 7. Texans at 8, Bills at 9. You saying Texans at 7? Putting Texans behind the Bills?
If we're not playing the Bengals, I'll put the Bills ahead of the Bengals. We're a better team than the Bengals.
Okay, so the Bengals go to 7.
I would say 7. The only problem is they have our number. I think the team, if you're not playing against each other, we have a better record. But it's something about that team. When we play them, they just know us.
Yeah. I mean, Lou Anarumo is a great defensive coordinator.
And is Zach Taylor? Is he offense? The offensive guy?
Huh?
Is there a coach, the offensive guy, the head coach?
Yeah. It's
Taylor, isn't it?
Yeah, but what's his first name?
It's not Zach.
Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
That's right, Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm like,
guy.
I said it wrong. But yeah.
Oh, you ruined my surprise. Golly.
I didn't see it, so it's still a surprise.
All right. Well, I got to break it now because it's already in the chat.
What?
The Post Podium Podcast has now officially joined.
Canceled?
Huh?
Been canceled?
You canceled us?
I didn't.
Who canceled us?
I don't know. We've officially been what?
Where you get canceled from?
That's the only thing it could be.
Huh?
What else could it be?
Bruh.
Huh?
We joined Do Champions Media.
Oh, okay. We did.
We are now on the network with Do Champions. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Pat. Shout out to Tim. I think it's Tim. My bad if I got that wrong. I'm trying to remember as many names as I can. Neffy. I'm trying to remember it. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. I was practicing before I got here. Okay? Anyway, we have a network now, okay? So listen.
Is that why you gave me this?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, I don't know where this came from.
Huh?
I'm saying,
it feels flat now that they already burst the bubble there. No, but in all seriousness, we're very excited to be part of the Do Champions team. We just got the deal done. Saturday? I think. Yeah. So Saturday. So everything is lined up for us to get that started next Monday. Okay. So just so you guys know, going forward, we will simulcast both on this channel and the Do Champions channel. But I encourage you strongly, follow us over there. Okay. That's where most of our work is going to be done going forward. We're still going to be maintaining this channel, and we're still going to be, posting content here and stuff like that. But we definitely want the network to grow. So that's where most of our focus is going to be. Okay. If you love the content, if you love what we do, then you're going to love everything that happens now going forward with Do Champions backing us. So shout out to those guys again. But yeah, that was the huge announcement. Sorry for making Laura and Roy wait. It's kind of like when you pinch that midstream situation.
Hey, pinch it off. Midstream doing them.
Right. So there it is. You get to finish the stream, and now we get to move on.
Release, relax, relate.
Right. All right. So, I don't know if you noticed this. Khalil Shakir looks thicker than Keon Coleman right now.
He is, though. He is. Because Keon Coleman was 6'4", 200.
I think he's 215.
Yeah, about 215. Yeah. Shakir's what, 6 feet, 200.
What? I hear some chuckling over there. What?
He tried so hard. I didn't even think about it. I thought about it. I'm like,
he did catch me with that. He caught me. He caught me. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah,
anyway,
but
the stuff that Shakir's been doing with molds, body wise, he looks like he's more of a number one receiver at this point. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see what he does. But I thought that was weird. I'm like, yo, he looks bigger than Keon. And
he was pretty. I don't want to say stocky, but he was bigger than people give him credit for last year even. He's probably about 205 now. But hey, where's it good? I guess his girlfriend gets on grill, so eating like that, all that red meat, the steak and stuff like that, it's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah, it does.
So especially Khalil, when you 30, you straight. 31, cut it out because it ain't gonna go back to where
we have a request.
What request we got?
Can Key say thicker?
Can I say thicker? Let me say thicker. That's the request. Thicker. That's the request.
The folk asked. I'm not gonna snitch. I'm not gonna snitch on Laura, okay? I'm not gonna snitch on her.
He said, yo, you just got told by a 20-year-old to mind yourself.
Oh my God.
That is great.
Okay. Y'all driving the producer insane over here right now, all right?
That's diabolical.
Oh man. Okay. What time is it? 7:35. You know what we did?
What we do?
We skipped stuff we heard.
We did skip stuff we heard.
How did that?
You had one topic and it kind of just drove the whole
show,
which is good
as always.
Which is good
as always.
No, give us a talking point. We had some interaction. We talked about the Bills and McDermott as usual, and now we can go to stuff we heard.
Somebody in the chat said thicker than a Snicker. No. Judy said he about to get canceled.
He said it's about to happen.
Yo,
he said it's about to happen.
Yo, what? Yeah, this is one of those interactive shows where if you like to poke the bear and see it get mad and all that's our producer right there.
Yeah,
so
you definitely poke the bear.
Any AO moments you want to go ahead and throw in the chat, I will read every last one of them. Every last one of them.
No
go ahead,
super
fill
chat
it up.
involved.
I'll read
just throw it in the chat.
All right, what do we got for? Huh?
I'll post some via on Twitter for you if you want.
Okay.
Oh wow!
Okay. You do that.
Why you gotta lash out like that though?
I'm gonna toss the whole thing over. You go ahead and do that.
Why you can't just bite down and take it?
Right.
No, I'm not done.
I'm gonna post my OnlyFans account on my computer. Why would you do that?
Whoa! Wait a second.
We doing feet pics now?
If we start talking about OnlyFans right now, I'm walking out.
We doing feet pics though?
I'll give y'all a moment.
I don't want that moment. You got to go home with them feet.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't. Them feet stay down in the basement. All right, what do we got?
I have sad news to report that Mac Hollins you've been replaced on my list of buddies.
What?
Spencer Brown, come on down.
No,
Spencer Brown.
No.
Spencer Brown says his pregame ritual is drinking a large cold brew coffee before games.
Oh my
a large,
God.
A spoon
Wait, it's Starbucks cold brew?
Starbucks cold brew coffee.
Wow.
Now, I will. He doesn't go without thorns. He lost some credit because he said he sips on it. You can't sip on no cold brew. You got to take that to the crib. Take it straight to the crib. So I hope it's a Trenta. He said large, so he's not that versed in Starbucks lingo. He said large. It's Trenta. It better be. He also said he eats his wings with ranch. I give him credit. He said it with his chest, all chest meat out.
Spencer Brown said that?
Yeah. All chest meat is out. All of it.
I mean, is there even a chest there?
I mean, the man's a 500-plus bencher, so there's got to be a chest there.
No, I don't know about that.
You
can bench all you want. It don't mean you got a chest.
He got a chest. Oh,
you giving him a chest now, even though you eat ranch?
Hey, I don't dip in nothing.
I don't dip in nothing either. That's what I'm saying. Man up and eat the wing by itself. Why you even need blue cheese or ranch? Why is it even a conversation?
Right. Who has time?
Just eat the damn wing.
I'm trying to get to the...
Like, hold up. First of all.
Don't you dare do that.
I had to stop. I forgot he was in the room.
What?
I'm not saying it. That's too much for me, even. That's too much for me. Too much for me, even. I'm not.
No, you gotta say it.
Nope.
You got
Nope. That's a little too much for me. You just announced we're gonna be on a new network, and we might say, you know what?
No, we already have a new network.
They're gonna be like, yo, no, this is null and void because this man's talking crazy.
No, I'll say this: for the amount of time that some of these people spend on these sauces, for you to just be covering it all up with blue cheese and ranch and stuff like that, like I would be upset.
Blasphemy.
If I did all that work for that sauce to dance all around your mouth and do some things to you.
Yep.
Like what? Everything.
No, that was
June. Everything.
That was an AO moment. That was a
fine.
Yo,
that was
fine.
That
for me to do all that work for you to just drench it in,
drench it in, yeah.
That I'm not a
sauces.
fan of that.
No, I mean, he said lemon pepper in the ranch. He said, I don't know what he said. I'm from whatever the hell he said. But I'm like, you know what? The hell with it. This man chugged the beer on the field.
Let me ask you this: Is there who makes the best lemon pepper wings?
I don't even like lemon pepper wings.
I haven't tasted one that I like, and that's why I'm asking because I'm not a fan of the crispy wing to begin with. Like I like the softer, saucy wing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think most lemon peppers are dry rub. So
right.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple that I'm not a fan, but people love those things. I don't know why. I mean,
the flavor is not bad. Don't get me wrong. The flavor is not bad. But if you took that and you put that on a wing that wasn't crispy and dry, I might like that a little bit better.
Let's ask around and see who makes good wings.
Somebody give me a good lemon pepper spot.
I mean, I know people are gonna say Barbell. You know they're gonna say Barbell. Have you ever been there before?
I'm driving to East Aurora for that though. You know how far that is from me.
I might do it.
You might do it.
Not
no.
lemon pepper.
Well, if you go, I gotta go with you.
Okay, I'll let you.
We'll just scare everybody out there. No disrespect. Boneless wings? Yeah, but
no. Did you see that? Speaking of bone, did you see that video of that guy a couple years ago that went on a rant about how boneless wings weren't really wings; they were saucy nugs. He wouldn't have changed the name of it because it wasn't a real chicken wing. You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, this dude went in front of his city council and wanted to outlaw the term boneless wings.
Why?
No,
I just mean like what?
No,
like,
I'll post it to our channel because I want people to watch this. If I can find it, I'm going to post it to. And guys, go on the Post Put In Podcast channel and watch this video and comment. Tell me what you think because this dude was serious. The council laughed at him at first, so they realized he was for real.
He was standing there with a straight face while they laughed?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like, "This is disgrace."
Wow.
I'm like, wow. But anyway, boneless wings. What were you saying about boneless wings?
No, Roy said boneless wings.
I like chicken pieces.
Chicken pieces.
Breaded chicken pieces.
I prefer boneless wings. I don't have to get my hands dirty. Not that I mind either way, but it's easier. What is so damn funny?
This ain't an AO moment. It's just funny.
How? I said I don't want to get my hands. You know what?
No. He said it's not an AO moment. It's just really funny.
It's just funny.
What? Did I prefer boneless wings? What is the problem?
I mean, hey, to each his own.
I don't get it.
I mean, you gotta get your fork, you pop it in there, you hold it upside down, let the sauce,
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Like if I wanted to get some extra sauce, I could dip it in some extra sauce.
Boom.
I'm Puerto Rican. I'm used to eating with a fork anyway.
Okay. I mean, I guess most people are.
Most people are Puerto Rican?
No, you just eat with a fork.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What do they eat with?
Caitlin eats everything with a spoon.
Well, okay. I thought we were talking about like versus your hands or something.
Oh well, yeah. There's a lot of cultures that eat with their hands.
I mean, I get the fufu. Get that fufu.
What is fufu?
Oh, it's like a little edible spoon, if you will. They eat. It's like a dough. You pull it off. It's African culture. They pull it off, dip it in the soup, and they just right in. It's a yucca plant.
Does it taste good?
The fufu, no, it's not. But it takes the flavor of the food that you're dipping it in. Because you don't use the fork. You dip it in and you like right in.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He made it one time. It was interesting.
Listen, anything y'all make in that house is delicious.
We appreciate that.
Seriously, yeah. Both of y'all can cook y'all behinds off. Roy says bone-in wing equals where's the meat? It's a good point. It's a good point. If I'm eating chicken and I don't want to have to worry about fighting with the bone to get the meat off, or working around gristle and all this other stuff, like it just makes sense. Boneless wing is better. I mean, it's my preference.
I mean, I get it. That's fine.
Laura says anything I could say at this moment would be bad.
Right? I censor myself.
There's a whole lot of that going around. Roy says I have. He says I have a 5-foot yucca plant in my living room.
Oh, well, there you go. You have the battles right there. Cut that thing down, ground it up, and enjoy.
What is yucca?
It's what they use to make fufu.
Oh,
yeah. So you ground that up and
cool.
add a couple of things in, but yeah, it's like almost like a Play-Doh consistency. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you form it just so you scoop it in your soup, you right on in. No spoon, no fork.
And it only tastes like whatever you.
It tastes like what you eat. Gucci soup usually, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, Spencer Brown. I also doubled down again. He lost more points. He's soft, man. Sherman's. He said he ate like 30-something wings. He said the most he's ever eaten was 50-something. He said he felt disgusting and his stomach was torn up. He said he spent a little time with Sherman Ultra Soft that night, if you know what I mean. I'm like, 50 wings? That's it?
That's it?
That's his record?
What's the most amount of wings you've ever eaten, bro?
63.
63?
63. At
Where?
Buffalo Wild Wings. On one of those cheap nights. So they had to keep
you just
coming.
ground them up and shoot them in an IV or something?
Man, I was having the time of my life. But beers, I was having beers and that. Man, I thought you were there. I don't know. But we
I could eat 63 popcorn shrimp.
You could.
I know I would.
Yeah.
With the hot barbecue sauce. Yo, that used to be the move back in the day, man.
Yeah, you did like you eat shrimp like this still?
Nobody makes them like that.
No?
I mean, like, very few places have real shrimp anymore to begin with. Mm-hmm. You know, most of it is well, I mean, it's all shrimp, but it's not it's not like organic, fresh caught.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all that cheap stuff. The farmer shrimp. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been to Buffalo Wild Wings in forever. Ever.
I ain't going back.
I can't. I know I can't. I can't go. There's just too many other good wing places.
Their wings they don't even fully sauce their wings.
Right.
How is it wet here but dry right here? The same wing.
It used to be one of the top places in the city, and they are trash now.
That's when we were 20 and we had no money.
Yeah, well, that's also true.
They say
you know no better.
50-cent wings. We're like, yo, we here.
Right.
We here. Let me get that. Now? Nah, I'm going to go ahead and somewhere else.
All right. So Spencer Brown ate 63 wings. He
no. 50-something.
50-something.
I ate
you
63.
ate 60. Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I did not feel disgusting afterwards.
And he pooped his brains out after that.
He did. That's probably why he missed a game or two.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so little
yeah, Laura says Buffalo Wild Wings trash.
Yeah, it hurts. So
sheesh.
You'll like this point. You ready?
I am.
So Eric Wood asked him who is the strongest person on the offensive line, and he said, well, it ain't me. And
damn right.
Eric Wood was like, well, I heard you're plus 500 bench presser. He said, yeah, well, I got that down pat. That's my thing. He said, but Deion's probably the strongest guy on his offensive line. He said, I don't know what he benches, but his lower body is insane. He said, per their cap score, whatever that is, Deion was number 1, and then Vandermark might have been number 2. I told you Deion's caps for you monkeys. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out. Have a good show.
Next subject, bro.
Next subject? Okay.
Next subject.
Okay. You hear what Bo Jackson said about the transfer portal?
Please tell me.
He said it's not great because Deion wasn't in it. No, no,
Roy
he said,
says, I've only eaten wings boneless once in my life.
who said that?
Roy.
Well,
You should do that more often. Huh?
I thought he didn't like bone-in.
Yeah, I don't. Can you not get boneless wings where you are, Roy? I'm confused.
You can make them. Cut up a chicken breast. There you go.
Well, yeah. You know what? Why didn't I think about that? Just
That's
cut
what
up
it
some
is.
chicken
That's
breasts, bread them.
Yeah,
And
that's what it
do
is.
that.
So Bo Jackson said, for me, it's teaching these young athletes how to run away from their problems instead of sitting back and dealing
Damn
with
it,
it.
Laura.
What?
She said you already know.
Put a little snowman in there. Put it in the comments. For guys who didn't know, he just threw something huge over there. Okay, Thor.
It was just a light eraser. It wasn't even
Oh.
nothing big. Don't tell the
You
people
launched
that.
that like he was Thor. I was
No.
like, okay, strong guy.
No.
I'm afraid. I'm coming with my football helmet next one.
Everything else I have over here is too valuable. It's the only thing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Okay. All right.
So he said, for me, teaching these young athletes how to run away from their problems instead of sitting back and dealing with it. Be a man, stand up to the plate. Jackson said, I don't think there's one kid playing in this day and age that could go through an ass ripping that we got from our coaches when we played. I don't think there's a kid that can handle that.
Except Deion Dawkins, right?
Huh?
I said except Deion Dawkins, right?
Somehow. So he said, my rookie year with the Raiders, this is the week before the Seattle game. I got into it with defensive line coach. Defensive line coach jumped in my ass, and I jumped back in his. And the last thing he said to me, you just better make sure you do what you got to do. And I turned around to him and said, show up on Monday night, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. He said, that's how you handle an issue. So basically, Bo Jackson is the newest of a long line of people that does not like the way college football is going, college sports are going, in terms of NILs and the transfer portal. I think it's cracked, too. The transfer portal is ridiculous.
Cry me a river. Would y'all stop?
Nope.
Would y'all stop?
I will not.
All the boo-hooing, my game is changing. It's the evolution. Like, oh, my God. Okay.
Speaking of that, they're getting rid of the transfer portal, just so you know. That was
Why?
only a thing because of COVID. That's the only reason it existed in the beginning. They put it in there because COVID, because people lost their seasons.
Players are going to hate that.
I don't care. Won't they stop?
of
Stop
course.
boo-hooing.
Of course.
Cry me a river. Play the game. No.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The players have become more empowered through the transfer portal and more empowered through NIL deals than ever before. Mm-hmm. I'm always a proponent of people making their just due, right? Whatever services they perform, whatever job they do, they need to be paid accordingly. And these college players have made millions of dollars for these campuses, and relative to what their tuition costs are to what the college makes off these players is egregious. It's so far wrong, so far left, it's not even funny. Like, colleges are making millions while these college tuitions are couple $100,000. Even if it's $500,000, that's still half of what I should be making. You know what I'm saying? And that's what bothers me about the mindset of, well, we need to get this back under control. These players are moving around too much. These players are doing this. Like, why shouldn't they be? I heard I forgot who the player was, but there's players that like, they tell the stories, the horror stories of, man, I had to eat fried bologna, like no bread, no nut, just fried bologna because I couldn't afford to. That's real life for these dudes. Why are you shaking your head?
No, it's not. I can tell you, it is real life, but at the same time, they're exaggerating a little bit based on what I know. They're exaggerating a little bit.
Oh, every last one that says that? I don't know if you can say every last one.
Okay. when you're a D1 athlete, they outline your schedule. You eat at a certain time. Mm-hmm. You have flex. You have extra monies that they give out. But you get above and beyond the better housing usually. But the problem is what they do is if they miss their lunch or they miss this, you're not going to have anything to eat. That's why you get that, because that's all that's left. If you can't get to the cafeteria because you got to practice or whatever the case may be, that's what it is. But I can tell you, I know firsthand, guys, they blow through their money in the beginning. They blow through it nefariously on stuff they're not supposed to be spending on. And then when they're like, I ainain't got no money now. I wish Matt was here. He could tell you. He saw the same things. And everybody is. Some people just don't have money management power. They don't have the ability to manage their selves and their spending the way they should be. But it's part of learning. Now, I wasn't going to particle in this. I just read it because I saw it and I thought it was interesting. Bo Jackson was the next in line to speak on this thing. But no, the transfer portal is hacked only to me because you can't they're jumping in there and they're playing 6 years now. They're jumping in there playing 5, 6, 7 years. Okay. So what's happening is high school kids are having a hard time getting into the college ranks, where now they can't go to college because that was their money to get their scholastics on. So there's a divide on these guys juicing this system, because what the transfer portal usually is guys that for the most part graduated from Notre Dame, and they want to play 2 more years. So that I got another year of eligibility. I'm going to go to USC. It's not a freshman that couldn't make the grade at the school because it was too hard, or the major dropped or whatever. That's where transfer portal should occur. But they already could do that. They could already leave when that occurs. But see, my problem is when they're 24, 20, and that's why the rookies are so old now, because NFL rookies are going to transfer portal. Then they come out. Bo Nix and was it Penix? Penix was 24 years old. He's older than most of the guys that have been in the league already. It's crazy because that's what portal does. And I'm okay with guys saying, you know what, this isn't a school for me. I got to be closer to my mom. I got to be closer to home, whatever the case may be. But this portal here is allowing guys that graduated to go elsewhere and try to re-enter into the NCAA atmosphere. And that's the part I don't like.
Okay. I mean, well said. I'm always a proponent for people making their money and people having the freedom to go where they're gonna go. I side with you on the point of high school students not being able to get opportunities because these guys are kind of abusing the system. I'm not a proponent of that, but most of what I heard when this transfer portal stuff first started, when this NIL stuff first started, is this is too much. There needs to be more oversight, more control. That really rubbed me the wrong way. It bothered me because it's a bunch of old guys that are used to this, tradition of them, using up these college players and justifying it with, well, we're paying for your education. Okay, but that's a quarter of what you owe them. Mm-hmm. You don't even let these players put their names on the jerseys. You know what I mean? Now they do. Some colleges do, some still don't. Mm-hmm. But all of that stuff is relevant. I mean, I've never seen any other business operate that way, where the people that work there that are performers for that business can't go out and monetize themselves in any other way, or they'll be kicked out.
Well, that's what you sign on for. You sign on for that when you sign up for NCAAs. Every year, you got to sign a eligibility pack, and it's probably about 30 pages long, and all that stuff's outlined in it. It's an amateur sport, and the reason why it's amateur because you can't accept monetary value, you can't accept favors, boosters, all this stuff, and that's what you sign in for when you sign this packet to go play whatever sport it is in college. Now with this is no longer an amateur sport because now it's professional. You're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So that's the grievance I have, when it comes to there are things outside of NFL football, and I'm struggling to think about exactly what they are, but
football has, so like in basketball, mm-hmm. right? You have the overseas leagues. In mm-hmm. hockey, you have the overseas mm-hmm. leagues where if you need to develop, you can go over there and develop, and those programs are good enough to get you ready mm-hmm. for to come back and play in the NHL. Same thing for the NBA. Those leagues over there are good enough to get you ready to come back and make a team. You know what I mean? You may not be a star right off the bat or whatever, but you'll make a team.
Right.
for the NFL, the XFL ain't doing that. The USFL ain't doing that. You know what I mean? College is the college is king right now in terms of farm leagues for the NFL.
Yeah,
people don't.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, like nobody. Most countries don't have the infrastructure in place to have any kind of farm system for the NFL. So if college is it, then why shouldn't these players be allowed to make money? All these other leagues that prepare you to get ready for, to make the league if you don't get drafted, pay you.
Yeah, I think I'm jaded by the fact of what happened to me. With regards to basketball, I talked to Johnny Flynn when he was at Syracuse, and he was talking about coming out. And I remember I was at work, and his dad came up, and I was like, yo, you doing big things and everything. He's like, yo, what happened to you? I said, my knee happened to me. That's what happened to me. Because we played, I'm older than him, but he played in a couple of leagues. That's what they boosted him for to play. But just like that, it's all gone. And what I really like about college is the ability to afford or not have to afford for inner city kids or the smaller privileged people to be able to get an education. You don't want to do work study, stuff like that, but when you're talking about guys driving Range Rovers or getting Lamborghini, for what? For what? I want these guys to get educations.
But okay.
And that's that's the end all be all. So I mean, for me, the fact I wasn't going to the NBA. I knew that, but I thought at 15 years old, USC, they send a questionnaire to me. Said, "Oh snap, this is happening. I got a single mother. I'm about to go to college, and guess what? As soon as I mess my knee up, who are you again?" That was it. Now my mom got to pay out of pocket for me to go to school. Things are looking bad. I got to come back home, and I paid for all my 20s. That's why I was broke the whole time because I had to try to pay for a degree I didn't finish.
Yeah,
and for me, these guys are going to college, and I really hated an NCAA basketball where you can go for 1 year and you're out of there. That's just, I'm not going to say it, but that's crap.
That's some bull.
Yeah. And for me, like, I want the young guys that, when their playing time is done to have something they can take with them. And for me, the ability to make your own money, to have the life skills to get the wealth of knowledge that you can get in college, it trumps everything. For these kids, they don't think about it like that. And like you said, people, I'm on a video game. That's cool. But even if the video game didn't exist for the last 10 years, I got a degree. I got, maybe I'm overseas. Maybe I'm doing this. Maybe I made a connection. And that's the thing that I like the most about college.
If this was back in the time when you would have graduated from college, that would have mattered 100%. Nowadays, degrees don't matter, bro. Like,
I know.
Caitlin had a bachelor's and she ended up not liking what she got her degree in. She wanted to change it. But all of that is to say, like, I watch how jobs hired that I've worked for, and it's usually somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, or somebody who came from another company that somebody who we just hired came from. Like, there's always some sort of reference point of somebody you knew. But it's almost never just education level.
No, education. But the thing about college that I liked the most when I went, not to Buff State, when I went to Edinburgh, away from home, you had to learn how to manage your money, like these guys are eating bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. Because I can tell you what they do is
is that on the college to help them do that, or is that on the player themselves? Like,
college helps you with that. They help you with that.
So
when you're an athlete, they're actually, when I came back to Buffalo, I actually had a class. It was what was it called? It was athletes and something. It showed you how to manage your money, how to deal with females or men. It showed you how to deal with off the court stuff. It did. So I mean, they do put all this, they empower you with these resources, you know. So you have a lot of wealth and resources available to you, but then you got guys who, I don't need that. I'm gonna go get this because I got this in my pocket. But then at the end of the month, you ain't got it in your pocket no more. Now I got bologna sandwiches, and that's why I have a hard time with that, because I know for a fact, it's, some places don't have facilities, but then some places, like, look at Alabama's, look at those, they have everything, and I've seen it. We've seen it. They show it to us, and so for you to tell me you're missing out on that for what the common student gets to eat a bologna sandwich, that's hard for me to believe. Because even at Edinburgh, we had stations for everything. It was open 3 times a day. Yeah. breakfast, lunch, dinner. Stations. There was no put some more gruel on my plate, sir. It was none of that. It was, plaster's here, meat's there, burgers there, this there, drinks there. All you can eat. People were taking it back to their rooms. And that was where I was at. So, I mean, there's schools that are lesser, but when you go on your tour, these things. Even Buff State was quality. So there's a fine line. And I would be more happy to see them invest in, give them a car. It would be a Lamborghini. Give them something. Give them a townhouse that they can live in, while they're there without to worry about dorms and sharing showers and that nonsense. There's other ways of mitigating. Start stocks for them, something like that, like a long.
So don't actually pay them and give them the money to do what they want to do with. Well, give them the car, give them the 401k, give them the
get them started off right. That's the way I want to do it. I would love to start them off.
But wouldn't that be more of a parent's job?
Some of these kids don't have parents. Some of these kids don't have.
They have They have to have a guardian.
Yeah, some of the guardians are just guardians.
That's not the college's problem.
I know it's not, but the point is, if I gotta pay this kid, where's their money going? They go home and they gotta pay for all that stuff, right?
It goes to whatever name they tell me to put on the check.
Right.
Here you go. Bye.
That's their check. Right.
You mess it up, that's on you.
And that's where it's been, and that's where it's going. So unless you're giving guys like Shedeur Sanders, who has the Cyber truck, which is $100,000, a Rolls Royce truck, which is $300,000. I mean, come on. There's got to be something. How much are you making that you're getting that? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how much are you really making? The NCAA did $66 million, I think, on pre-sales.
Huh?
The NCAA did $66 million in pre-sales. So the $30 a head. What you got?
Jack, what about Brandon Bean? Yes, we can take a couple of minutes to talk about him. He
what
said,
about
"Hey,
Bean?
can we talk?"
Is he getting NIL too?
No. Don't get me started. Like I'm just like my perspective is this. I completely understand the education point. I completely understand, the value of that. I just don't think it, coming from an entrepreneurial standpoint, which is where I come from, I've always been of the mindset that if I can't go get something, I'll make it myself. If I can't afford to get something, I'll sell something to get the money to get it, or whatever, not drugs.
Or your body.
Or my body.
Had to cover the two bases.
Right, 100%. But that's kind of always been my mindset, because I'll put it like this. When Junie was born, I was already signed up to go to American Idol, which was right in New York City. My aunt was going to drive me. We didn't know that he was going to be born the same day, but I had a choice to make. I could either be there to hold my son, or I can go off to American Idol. Mm-hmm. And I chose to be there for my son, right? So I'm well aware of people having opportunities and being in tough situations, right? Mm-hmm. I lived that a couple of times, but I just think in today's day and age where there's such an epidemic of people getting degrees and having college debt and getting out into the real world, and I mean, I'm going to be honest, Junie's experiencing that now, where he's got a college degree. He's out here looking for jobs in welding, and it's people act like they don't want to hire. All these companies will propagate and say, the workforce is going, there's nobody who wants to work. It's people filling out applications all over the place. You just don't want to hire them.
Yep. Where have you done it before? What experience do you have?
That's what That's what they're looking for. We want you to have experience, even though you're fresh out of college and there was nowhere for you to have experience other than college. Right. Call the damn school.
Right. And I think that's the gotcha, and that's 100% true. That's why it's all cracked up. It's just cracked because you don't need. See, for me, the biggest takeaway from college was not obviously a degree, because I didn't get that, but it was just being away from home, where I can't be like, oh my, I messed up, it wasn't that. It was just like, yo, I'm this far away, I got to figure this out. And you got, the new guys like Mel and them coming up the next year after me, and I got to show them, this is when you want to do this is where you do. But I mean, Mel back in the day, he was like, yo, Key, how did you do this? Because you go to Walmart and get this stuff. I had my room stocked up, and everybody, yo, can I borrow some food? Where your flex at? I ran out. Exactly. Why you ran out? Now you got to wait till cafeteria. Come on in. I got some hot dogs in there. You can have some, but people coming in my room ask for wet wipes. That's how bad it was. Yeah, they keep, you got them things? Like, they over there, take them. But that's what I'm, and to your point, you guys do college to teach you this stuff. They some of them do, but a lot of guys don't know it. Now I'm handing $400,000 to a guy who can't keep his own wet wipes. That's tough. I mean, so I get it. I would love to see them compensated, except when they're playing on college football 2025. And I mean, I'll tell y'all straight up, like I told I played Michigan at your request. I didn't know when it was going to end. It was unmerciful.
What was the final score?
94-7.
No way.
94-7.
I don't understand how.
The game. I'm not 30 anymore.
So wait, what? Again, what level did you play it on?
Heisman.
That's the hardest one.
The hardest one. But this is the kick. For whatever reason, they pulled my starters, and Michigan was still pounding me with the Will Johnson was still out there. Their running back that's on the cover of the game was still out there. I'm like, yo, why do they still have stars on the field and I'm naked?
Wait, they beat you by?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you beat them.
Heck no, they destroyed me.
Oh.
Why are your starters still on the field, sir? I pulled mine.
Why did you not yank the power cord out of the wall?
I just had to finish it. It had to be done.
Like I really thought you were winning 30-0 at halftime.
Heck no, I was getting my itch pushed in.
Why, yo, no, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. Listen, I'll just simulate the game at that point.
I said never again. I said this for my man. Never again.
Wow. Wow. Matter of fact, you got to send me the link. I want to watch it.
No, you don't want to watch it.
I do want to watch it. So Jack Rickard says Brandon Beane is a pure genius. He owns Buffalo, buddy.
Hey, you heard what Craig Carton said, didn't you?
What's that?
He said that the anonymous GM to talk that mess about Josh Allen was Brandon Beane.
Yo, wouldn't that be something?
He said because they're getting geared up for the inevitable dumbest trade ever when they unload Josh Allen. He said Brandon Beane was the one that said it.
Why does Carton have a show?
I was going to ask you, who is this guy? But then did you see that he got? Let me if I have a second, let me just find this in.
I mean, I enjoy some of his content from time to time. It's just.
Did you hear about his well, he got arrested for gambling and all this stuff, so he did 12 months. But his return to WFAN. In 1997, 610 WIP. Carton reported the Philadelphia Flyers captain Eric Lindros has missed a game against the Pittsburgh Penguins on February 15 because he was hungover. Carton claimed that the Flyers' reason to sore back for Lindros missing the game was a cover-up. The Flyers immediately sued WIP, resulting in and out of courtroom settlement. 2 years later, Flyers owner admitted that the allegation was actually true. So maybe he knows something. Probably doesn't, but how does your company get sued by a team that covered something and then they admit that he was actually right. It was true. He was drunk. That's crazy.
He knows people. I know he knows people.
He definitely does. And stay the hell away from the Buffalo Bills, because whatever he says, I'm gonna be like, what?
Right.
But no, Brandon Beane owning the Buffalo Bills.
Well, the other part of that too is he's a Jets fan. So.
Oh, you talking about Carton?
Yeah. So anything that dismantles the Bills, and knowing him, that's probably where he was going with that is anything that dismantles the Bills and helps the Jets win. But yeah. So Roy said I tried being a gigolo in my younger days, but I tired of giving refunds. I mean.
His credits and debits weren't adding up.
Listen.
I'm hemorrhaging money here.
You got to go back to the drawing board at that point, buddy. You got to figure that thing out, man. Like, look.
They had a blue diamond back then, I guess.
Is it the stroke? Is it the, what is it?
He don't need that blue diamond. If he'd have had that, he'd have been it.
Let's see. There was another quote in here, or another comment, rather. To Bonus Lex.
He's here.
He said, to be honest, I just wanted NIL to stop situations like Reggie Bush not getting the Heisman.
I could see that. Because honestly, anybody that signed that pamphlet knows that thing is freaking ridiculous. So they need to overhaul that.
Yeah. Lindsay says, American Idol and other vocal contests are a total sham. I just watched the Joe Rogan podcast with singer Jewel. Jewel went through some ish. I respect artists like Jewel who went through the fire. Yeah. Man, I got to watch that now.
Jewel? Yeah, I mean,
I know, like, the one of my friends in high school that I was in a singing group with, his older brother and his singing group almost signed with Bad Boy. Mm-hmm. But, and this made no sense to me at the time. They said they didn't like the contract and they didn't want to sign with him. And I'm like, what? Hey, listen, if Bad Boy offered me, yo.
You want a party?
Right now, we get it now. We get it now. But back then it was like, yo, what do y'all do? But anyway, my friend's older brother went to go try out for American Idol when they came to Niagara Falls. They were in the outlet mall.
Yeah.
And they didn't take him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hold up. This man is a technician vocally. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about like Wanye level precision in this dude's voice. Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know Wanye, Boyz II Men, lead singer, that's how good this guy was. Like, I think he's better than me. You know what I mean? But as soon as I saw they didn't take him, and I thought about like, well, man, if they didn't take him, would they have even bothered with me if I had gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, really talented people that they didn't even take. So like that was the point where I knew like, okay, they're looking for, they're not just looking for talent, they're looking for marketability. Who can they make money off of? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, before that, I hadn't really known a lot about the business side of American Idol, but that's when I saw it. So yeah,
the more and more I'm looking at that kind of stuff, I'm like, yo, I'm glad I don't do anything because you gotta do stuff to do stuff, and I'm not with it.
Right,
I ain't with it.
Right.
That's sideways.
That is the one industry I really wish somebody would light a fire to. You know what I mean? Is that whole entertainment district, that field in general, because so much of it is so subjective. It's like the world outside of it doesn't really venture much into their curiosity about how it works. Mm-hmm. So none of it ever gets properly regulated. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like it's because a lot of people don't understand it. They don't understand the business side of entertainment. They just don't care. Right. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be entertained. Mm-hmm. You know, so if people are getting trafficked and all kind of, you know, I mean, I just started to notice in this trend too, like a lot of these young actresses that get into movies and stuff like that, like most of the time they all have a naked scene somewhere. Yep. You know what I mean? And that kills me. It's like, yo, why is that necessary? Yeah. But then you find out that the Diddy's of the world running the show and all that, like that's why. Yep. That's why people like that are allowed to run free.
Yeah, crazy.
So that's enough of the dark side of this thing here. We got, 10 minutes?
Yeah. Did you hear? I'm not getting political. I'm not going to do political, but
we've been political for so much of this episode already, bro. Just go.
No, I mean, the real political. Okay. My mom sent me a text message earlier, and this is another reason why you never open your work emails.
Wait. Stop the show.
What?
Steve Noble is in the house.
No, he's not.
Right? Steve Noble is in the house. He says, I know a lady that competed in a major barbecue show. She dominated every week early on, and those running the show put her in a bad place to get rid of her. 100% sham. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Lindsay said, to add to Key's point about educating yourself, I'm a business undergrad as well. Tibonius Lex says, hey, I'm an 8-instrument musician and beat maker. I would love to learn. No doubt. We got a rap, man. Hit me up. I'll give you my phone number. You know what I'm saying? We'll Skype or something. Skype. Whatever.
Whoa.
I know.
That is old as hell.
I couldn't think of the other thing. Like Google Duo.
You give me your MySpace next?
Y'all leave me alone.
You give me your MySpace next?
I'm not old at all.
Yo, hit me on my hip.
I know how to make a beat.
Page me.
That was years ago.
You push the button and it does something. And then some noise comes out the boxes.
Yeah.
What is that, dial-up?
Yeah.
What's worse, the noise you just made or the fact that I knew what it was?
It's like, you got mail.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, what was that? I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, my mom sent me a text message earlier, and this is why you don't open your emails, your work emails, anywhere but when you're at work. So Wolf Blitzer was on his day off at a bar.
Who?
Wolf Blitzer
Who is
from CNN.
I don't know.
White guy, glasses. He went to UB. He rubbed Buffalo every chance he gets. But he's popular. He's probably like almost 80, I think. But
okay.
At any rate, he's at the bar having a good time. You know, he was about to, he has a drink called the Blitzer Spritzer. Okay. For whatever reason, he decided to look at his emails. Guess what he found? Biden's dropped out of the race. You have to come to work. So now he can't have his Blitzer Spritzer. He got to go to the office, get dressed up, go to the office, and report on this.
Right. Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious to me because, you know, for me, my job can call me and say, hey, we need you to. No, I ain't opening no phone. No text messages, no phones, no emails, nothing from my job, the second job, until I get to the second job. As a matter of fact, I think I have about 4,000 emails sitting in my inbox right now. I have not looked at. I think they go back to 2021 or so. I'm not going to read them. It's fine. I know what I need to know. I got my good friend Brittany who gives me the lowdown on what's going on in the station. So,
if there was a way to just delete every email I had, because I like all the ones that I want to save, I star them or something like that. But there is no delete all button.
Right.
I really think Google would crash if they
the
put
Gmail
that button.
one.
Huh?
The Gmail?
Yeah, the Gmail.
No, I don't have I got a Gmail only for my phone, but I don't ever use it.
Oh, really?
I use it for nothing.
Yeah, I used to use my Yahoo, and then I got tired of that, and I like Gmail and the security of it, so that's what I use now.
Only reason I have a Gmail is because Android requires you to have one. When I first got my first Android, I had to make a Gmail on the spot in order to get my phone to work.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you could use Microsoft on those too.
I
mean, it's basically a PC.
Well, back then it was Android. I don't know if it's the same now, but I already had one, so I just link it up with it now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's see. What else?
Lindsay says she got a 13-piece drum set, man. I bet that's nice.
13-piece drum
13-piece drum set, yeah.
Drumsticks?
The what?
I put 13 pieces of drums on the grill the other day.
She said set, bro. Set.
I put them on the grill the other day, and it was nice.
Okay.
Yeah. It was nice.
That's cool.
I got to throw some more on the grill. Drumsticks.
Right. Speaking of that, I'm seasoning up the griddle this week. I got this this photo slide I got to do for a friend of mine for a funeral coming up, but sometime in between doing all that kind of stuff, I gotta season up the griddle. We're having a birthday party at the house this weekend, but I'm so excited to season that griddle up, get that thing
doing
ready,
that thing.
Really get some grilling done.
Yeah.
Woo! I'm in my mode. Got the pool set up. Got the, you know what I mean, like the backyard. Right, the backyard's looking like a backyard. Finally, finally.
Do your thing.
Yeah.
So to answer your question earlier, you with the last 5 minutes, if you have something else, to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You asked me. You sent me a graphic. I think it was yesterday. Tom Brady.
Oh yes,
the greatest. Oh, how was it? How did
I don't think we're gonna have time to debate that down the way that I wanted to. But the second
you had a debate with it?
Well, I just wanted you to pick 5 guys.
Okay.
And then let's narrow that down to 2.
Okay. All right. So I have 9. Do you want to narrow it down? Got Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Kurt Warner, James Harrison.
Oh, James Harrison is a real good one.
Warren Moon, Jeff Saturday. Now, mind you, Harrison, Moon, they were not drafted. Mm-hmm. Saturday was a late round draft. John Randall, Antonio
Kurt Warner
Gates.
wasn't drafted either.
Nope. Mike Webster, which that goes back a long way.
Where was Antonio Gates taken? Undrafted?
Undrafted.
Wow.
Mike Webster was by Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Reference. They had him as the second greatest player. How did it go? Low round draft pick ever, behind Tom Brady.
Wow.
Whatever that means. I mean, I don't even know. He played before our time. I can tell you that. He played 74 through 1990 at center. So in that time.
So you went the opposite way. You went with undrafted dudes. I was like, well, if Tom Brady was drafted, I went.
I got drafted guys too, but I mean that was the easiest way to start it for me. I was like, who really didn't get any looks at all?
Yeah.
9 Pro Bowls, 5 first team All Pros, 5 awards. So you got all 70s, all 80s, all second and first team, all 70s, 80s, 74 all rookie team, NFL's 100 all time team. So anybody that was around from Mike Webster, I'm sorry that I don't know more about him, but yeah, he looks fully decorated.
Getting your geek all the way on. Go ahead, bro. What who was this for? What player was that?
That was Mike Webster.
Mike Webster. Okay.
So
he was something serious. Yeah. Well, I went with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Matt Milano, Jason Peters, and Brock Purdy.
Jason Peters. Well, okay.
Jason Peters was undrafted.
That's what I'm saying. Jason Peters. See, I was looking at me because you got guys that were like third, fourth round. Like I think Jerry Rice was like a fourth or fifth round or something like that.
Yeah, I tried to go with like 5. Well, Tyreek Hill was a third. No,
fourth. No, was he second?
No, I think he might have been a third through fifth, somewhere in that range. And Kelce, I think, was a third round pick too. No, he was fifth round.
Fifth.
Yeah, so he was a fifth round pick, and Kelce, I think, was somewhere in that 3 to 5 range too. Matt Milano was a 5. Peters is undrafted, and Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Travis Kelce's third round. Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Yep. And Kurt Warner was back in grip. She had Piggly Wiggly.
Lindsay going in on these wings. She said, only 13, Key? Man, you're a light eater, LOL. She missed where you said you ate 63 in one shot.
I said 13 drumsticks, not wingdings. The actual chicken legs.
Yo, she goes with a dub every Bills game. 20 wings every Bills game.
Easily.
I hit 10 and I'm like,
dude, you know how bad it is for me? Since we're gonna pocket this now because we're gonna get into another thing.
That's fine.
I make a pot of rice to go with my 20 wings, and I eat the whole pot of rice.
Wait, just straight white rice or brown rice?
White rice, butter. How
really?
You want to season it? Yeah, because I need a side for my 20 wings. I can't just eat 20 wings. I need a side. Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
She said, Lindsay said full chicken wings too, but I baked the dickens out of my wings with buffalo hot sauce without any dressings. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's how it's supposed to roll.
Yeah.
Take notes from Lindsay. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, no. 20 wings, that's 40. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
You gotta dive in. Face first.
Face you got to hold the wing, Keyshawn.
No,
see, this is why I
do
like boneless, because you get a fork, you don't have to hold it. You just stick the fork in the bowl.
Just take the plate and just
straight to the face.
take the face.
Fork to face.
Yeah, see, it's too easy to eat. That's probably my problem. I need. That's like when I used to drink. When I used to drink brown liquor. It was too smooth. I need to know. I need to feel it burn. I need to know. I need to work for it. That's how I need it. I need it, man.
Nah.
Everybody, yo, what do you like to drink? Hey, you got to get on the floor and lay down to get the stuff I want.
If it's burning my esophagus like that, it's probably not helping me.
I'm not going down there like I used to, though. See, that's the thing. If you got that smooth, so you're taking it to the crib, next thing you know, you on the floor.
Yeah, I heard the brown stuff do you dirty like that.
Yeah, or you taking a knee next to the porcelain god. You don't want to do that.
Lindsay said, I like the rice idea. Need something to sock up that sauce.
Yeah, I do that too, yep.
See,
now you got an appetizer, though. You got to have bread. I usually do like breadsticks, cheesy breadsticks, something like that. Yeah, I'm a fat boy.
Hey, back up. my boys at DC said boneless wings are the adult version of chicken nuggets. That's okay. It's okay. If you use a fork, it's different.
Well, that's the thing. They are chicken nuggets, really. They're like sophisticated chicken nuggets.
Exactly, because you're using silverware to eat them, right?
They don't have that crummy.
Listen, even if I got to take a butter knife and just chop them up a little bit and then eat them with a fork just to make it look more sophisticated, I'll do that. That's just me. I'd rather not sit there like this is why. Mm-hmm. This is why. Too many times in my life, I've been sitting there eating a chicken wing, and you get to the part where you got to like break that flat apart.
I'll bust that up first.
You bust it up first? How you do that? You punch it?
No, you pop that bad boy at the gristle.
Right. Well,
snap it before I even eat it.
Because I like saucy wings, every time I try to do that, slip out my hand and fly all over the room. Like, I'm not trying to I've damaged furniture, I've damaged rugs. I'm not trying to get my head chopped off anymore for that stuff. So I just go with the boneless to save myself some heartache and pain later on. That's why. There you go. You've been inside my life and inside my head. Take notes. Anyway. We got to get you out of here, bro.
While you do your clothes, I'm trying to find those videos I can put on our page.
Okay, and I am going to repost the link for the Do Champions channel in the chat. Bang, there it is right there. Go ahead and click that bad boy. Follow them, because when you follow them, you're going to be following us too, and you're going to get all this good content going forward, starting next Monday. Next Monday, the what? The 29th.
Oh, Oh,
What?
Monday is the day. That's the day I'm going to the training camp, I believe, too. So I have some
Oh, yeah?
report.
Hey, there we go. I'm going to the blue and red game that Friday. The second.
What is it? Oh, yeah.
The blue and red game.
Yep.
So I'll be there for that. I'm trying to get Damaris to go, but he don't want to.
You don't want to go?
Well, it's not that he don't want to, but he be busy. So
I hear you.
all right, here we go. Oh, that might be too loud. All right, my bad. So if y'all can still hear after blown eardrums, I apologize. But listen, I know we didn't get to a ton of football talk in this podcast.
Do y'all mind?
Appreciate.
Do y'all mind?
That's also a good point. Thank y'all very much for tuning in and sticking with us. It's always a good time here, and this is what we do. So if you have not done already, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing.
Ring a lang.
So that you can get notifications like we just had today, which was a huge one. Once again, the Post Podium Podcast is now part of the Dude Champions Media team. We on the team. DC gang, stand up, baby. Anyway, social media, social media links are in the description. I will put the link for Dude Champions channel in the description as well. That way, if you don't get to it live, geez, my English, you can get to it afterwards. Okay. With all that being said, hit us up. We love talking ball. We love talking whatever else. Tabonius Lex, hit me up, man. Let's work on some music. We can do something. You know what I'm saying? However you want to do it, I'm with it. My oldest son Junie got his own podcast, Basketball Truth and Knowledge. Make sure y'all check him out. He's got his own channel. He's growing. This has been the Post Podium Podcast. Some of the all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
Just key.
We did.
Somehow.
All right, y'all have a great night.